So I think the most important thing that you're going to find is that if you can write, you're going to be in demand. It doesn't really matter that much what your background is, but if you can write, if you can communicate, people are going to want to come to you, and they're going to seek you out.
Yeah, I think the basic principles of any major are helpful. It's like if you can research, if you can write, if you can communicate, if you're smart, you'll be fine. You learn most of the skills you actually need for your job, or at least in my experience, on the job, doing the thing. They'll teach you a lot of what you need to know. I don't think I've ever used actual substance from my classes in terms of, quoting Marx or something like that. It's just like you don't actually use that, but you just know how to research, how to write, how to do an essay, things like that.
Mm-hmm. And I would just add to that, as a person who hires people and has seen a stream of people come through the shops that I've been in, one of the critical differentiators is the ability to communicate, both verbally and written. And then add to that something that our luncheon speaker, Mike Bradley, talked about, was the ability to synthesize. The ability to synthesize the concept or the idea succinctly, get the core ingredients. And in my experience in talking with people, there's a great divide between people who come from schools like Amherst and people who don't. And so in the beginning, if you've paid attention, you really have a leg up on this to use that skill. And often people from a place like this, a liberal arts school, will say, geez, I don't know anything. Well, that's true. But it's not true that you have no skills, because that writing, speaking, communication, again, as Mike said, synthesizing skill is really, really important. And the number of people who do it well is small. So if you are among that number, if you're in that number, it really doesn't matter that much what the substance of your educational background is, or really the kind of specialty that you're looking at to get started. If you can use those skills to get yourself into it, you will do very well.
I mean, just Tim, an echo on that. I think that you as students here, among all of you who know how to write, and by the way, if you can't write after being here for 4 years, you've probably been asleep for 4 years. But all of you do this pretty well. In the world, it is absolutely not true that everyone does it well. Most people don't write well. Most people don't speak well. Most people don't synthesize well. So remember, that's a big asset.
So you do have a skill.